Today, we're diving into a book that has arguably created more millionaires than any other. It's the 1937 classic from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. For almost a century, people have been trying to find the one big secret hidden in its pages. So, let's unlock it together.
So where did this all come from? Well, the story starts with one of the richest men who ever lived, Andrew Carnegie. He was totally convinced his insane fortune wasn't just luck. He believed he had a magic formula. And he gave a young journalist, Napoleon Hill, a challenge. Spend the next 20 years studying the world's most successful people, figure out that formula, and then share it with everyone.
And that's exactly what Hill did. For 2 decades, he got inside the heads of over 500 absolute titans of industry. We're talking people like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, you name it. So after all that research, what was the secret? What was the one common denominator that linked all of their incredible achievements?
Well, the answer, as Hill discovered, wasn't some single magic word. It was a whole system of powerful principles. And the absolute foundation, the starting point for everything, it all begins with one incredibly powerful human emotion: desire. To really hammer this home, Hill tells this amazing story about a guy named Edwin C. Barnes. Now, on the surface, Barnes was a nobody. He had nothing. But he had this one force inside him that made him totally unstoppable: a single, all-consuming, burning desire. And here's the really important part. His desire was specific. He didn't just want a job or to work for Thomas Edison. No, he was absolutely determined to become Edison's business associate, his partner. This wasn't some vague dream. It was a crystal clear, definite goal. Get this, the guy had zero money, not even enough for a train ticket. So he just hopped a freight train to get to New Jersey. When he finally walked into Edison's laboratory, he looked like a tramp. But, and this is the whole point, it didn't matter what he looked like because inside his own head, he thought like a king. So Edison gives him some low-level, low-paying job. And for 5 years, nothing really happened. Most people would have quit, but Barnes stayed. Why? Because in his own mind, he wasn't just some low-level employee. He was already Edison's partner, every single day, just waiting for the world to catch up to what he already knew. You know, Edison himself even saw this incredible power. He said he gave Barnes his big break because he saw a man who was willing to bet his entire future on achieving that one goal. And that burning desire is what led Barnes to spot an opportunity in an invention no one else wanted: the Ediphone. He sold it so well that he became a rich man, and just like he always planned, the business partner of Thomas A. Edison. Okay, so desire is the what? It's the fuel. But how do you actually put it to work? Well, Hill provides a very practical, concrete method for turning that intangible feeling of desire into cold, hard, tangible results. Let's walk through this 6-step blueprint. First, be specific. Not a lot of money, but an exact number. Step 2, figure out exactly what you're going to give in return, because there's no such thing as something for nothing. 3, set a hard deadline. 4, create a plan and, this is key, start right away, whether you feel ready or not. 5, write it all down in a clear statement. In step 6, this is the secret sauce. Read that statement out loud, twice a day. And as you do it, you have to see, feel, and believe you already have it. All right, but having a burning desire and a solid plan, it's still not quite enough. You need a catalyst. You need something to activate it all. Hill calls this next ingredient faith, and he describes it as the head chemist of the mind.
Now, when Hill talks about faith, he's not just talking about wishful thinking. He defines it as a state of mind that you can actually build on purpose. You can cultivate it by giving repeated instructions to your subconscious mind. It's the active ingredient that takes your thoughts and gives them life, power, and action.
And the tool you use to build this faith? It's something called autosuggestion. It sounds kind of technical, but it's really simple. It's just you, consciously and voluntarily, feeding your subconscious mind with positive, creative thoughts. Remember that 6th step of reading your statement out loud? That's autosuggestion. You are literally programming your own mind for success. And this really highlights the huge choice we all have every single day. Your subconscious mind, it's like rich garden soil. It doesn't care what you plant, it'll grow anything. So, if you feed it constructive thoughts, fueled by things like faith and desire, you'll attract success. But if you let it get overrun with destructive thoughts, fear, doubt, you're going to attract failure. The most important point is this: you are the master gardener. You choose the seeds. So we've talked about desire, the 6-step method, and the catalyst of faith. Now let's pull all these threads together and finally reveal the full secret that Andrew Carnegie sent Napoleon Hill on a 20-year quest to discover. So the big reveal is this: the secret isn't a single word. It's not some clever trick. It's the entire system working together. It's a formula where every single part we've talked about makes the others even more powerful. The real magic is in the combination. So here it is, the secret formula boiled down. You start with a definite, laser-focused purpose. You fuel that purpose with a white-hot, burning desire. You back that desire with unshakable faith that you can actually do it. You create a definite plan, and then you just persist. You stick with it until what was once just a thought becomes your actual reality. In the end, this entire massive philosophy can be summed up in this one powerful line from Hill himself: both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. What he's saying is that your outside world, your money, your health, your life, it's all just a direct reflection of the thoughts that you let dominate your mind. So the most important takeaway Hill leaves us with isn't just that your thoughts create your reality, it's that you are the one in control of your thoughts. You have that power. And so the only question left to ask is, what thought are you going to choose to make real?